So, something I've wanted to get back to for a while now on this channel is posting more than just pop culture and entertainment reviews and stuff like that, right? A few years ago, and this is where my channel really started to actually show some growth, I decided I was going to challenge myself to post something every day. Something. Sometimes it was a movie review, sometimes it was just a random thought that I had. Sometimes it was politics. Like, it was just anything I wanted to talk about, as long as I posted something every day. And it worked really well, not only for the growth of the channel, but I really enjoyed it. It was a great creative outlet, and it made me more creative, have more creative thoughts, challenge myself to articulate ideas, and it's something that I've been missing for a long time. And that's not to say that the other things will stop, like the reviews of the stuff I love and dislike and things like that, but I do want to get back to it. I mean, that is why the channel is called Daily BS. Now, I'm not guaranteeing I'm going to do it daily, but I just want to start including things that aren't only, arts and entertainment stuff. And I was thinking today about my recent obsession, right? And I was like, you know what, I should make a video about that, because I haven't done something like that in a long time. Anyway, recently I've become kind of re-obsessed with wrestling. Like, I love wrestling. No, not WWE or ECW, type wrestling. Real wrestling, right? Collegiate wrestling, NCAA wrestling, Greco-Roman wrestling, Olympic wrestling, like real wrestling, the sport. And it got reignited because my son Asher joined the wrestling team and started wrestling, and it was something I wanted him to do for a long time. I always suggested, like, hey, you want to do something hard, you want to do something really difficult, try wrestling. Like, I think you'll enjoy it. I think you'll be good at it. And he's been doing stuff. He went to wrestling camp over the summer, and he worked out with the high school team a bit last year. But this is his first real full wrestling season, and he's doing really well. Like, super proud of him. But I think it was when we went to our first meet, his first meet, that I got really excited again about the sport of wrestling. And I say again because I wrestled in middle school and in high school, and it was something that I always, I felt like I never really wrestled to my potential. I was overweight, so I was far out of a weight class where I could really be competitive. I felt like I was wrestling much bigger guys a lot of times, and I don't know. I don't know that I had the drive as a middle schooler and high schooler that I do as an adult. Just that ferocious tenacity, to push through things, push through pain, push through difficulty. I've developed that more as I've gotten older. There was a little bit there when I was a kid, but like I said, it just felt like there wasn't. I wasn't in a good position, man. Like I said, I was not in good shape. I was wrestling people far heavier and stronger and more skilled, and I didn't devote the time and energy to it. And then in high school I started smoking cigarettes and drinking and stuff like that, so fell out of wrestling and just kind of gave up on it, and I've looked back forever, for most of my adulthood, at man, I wonder how good I could have been had I lost the weight before my senior year, before I was 17, 18 years old. If I had been wrestling at a proper weight and really applied myself to it. And so it's just one of those things, right? And I think a lot of parents do this, and it feels like, people say you're living vicariously through your kid. There may be a little bit of that. There may be a little bit of, I want to see him succeed. He's in really good shape. Kid's he's developing some muscle now, and he's like shredded, and he's right around the weight class I probably should have been at. So it's there's a little bit of that, but it also just brought back the love of like being a spectator of the sport, right? And what made me fall even more in love with it is my wife suggested, she's like, hey, they've got Ohio State wrestling tickets on sale, and they're not expensive. They're like $20. Why don't you and Asher go? And so Asher and I went, and it was just an awesome experience, man. We got to watch a really close, tough meet, which is saying something because Ohio State's like, I think ranked number like 4 in the nation. They haven't lost a meet yet this year. They're 11-0, and so they usually just kind of dominate, at least so far this season. And this was like super close. Came down to the last minute of the last match, and it was a crazy fun experience. And I love their facility down there, the Cavelli Center. It was just an awesome experience. We had a really good time. Yeah, I just had a great time. And since then, I've just been obsessed with like watching wrestling content. I'm like watching people, show how to do moves, and like, no, I have no delusions that I'm going to be a wrestler or anything like that. However, there is a 43-year-old college wrestler. You should look him up. There's a guy who's 43 years old. He went back to college, and he is on a wrestling team. Not at Ohio State, but I don't remember which school. Anyway, I have no interest in doing that. But I'm happy to be a spectator and to watch my son do it, and to watch other people do it, and watching like, the best of the best do it. And I've been, YouTube wasn't a thing when I was young. It's great to be able to just find so much wrestling content on YouTube. I can watch the Ohio State meets, either on Big Ten Network, or I can watch them on YouTube like a couple days after they happen. So I've just really gotten back into it. It's like super, I don't know why, but I'm so excited about it. I just love watching it. I love the intensity. I love the sport itself. I've been watching documentaries. It's kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy. But when I get into something, I get really into something. So we'll see what happens. We'll see if I vicariously live through my son, like pressure him to like do a bunch of off-season camps and stuff. Probably not. He can do what he wants, man. He plays football. He's on the track team. He wrestles. He's fucking genius academically. So, and he works a part-time job. So it's like, do what you want, kid. Like he's killing it as a human being. So I wouldn't even like. Yes, there are lessons I can teach him and stuff about life, but I feel like him at his age compared to me at his age, he's killing it. He's killing it. I was an absolute wreck when I was 15 years old. So, yeah, I'm not going to teach him much about being a 15-year-old. However, like I said, I'm just happy to be a spectator. This is a lot of fun for me. More fun than I ever imagined it would be. Watching him grow and develop as a wrestler, but then also just the sport of wrestling in general, just getting back into it, and the complexities of the moves, and then my other son now is doing some recreational wrestling, just kind of learning basic skills, and I've been going to those practices. So it's just been a lot of fun. I've been like really kind of surrounding myself with wrestling lately, and I'm absolutely loving it. Anyway, that's all I wanted to talk about today, is just how much I love it. I know it's kind of a niche thing in terms of like pop culture. Not a lot of people are going to NCAA wrestling meets in their free time, unless you like have someone or know someone that's in the sport, or you yourself were very much into the sport. But yeah, just digging it, man. Anyway, anybody else into wrestling or anything else like that most people might not be into, but you're like super into, or that you used to be into and then fell out of, but then kind of fell back in love with again. I do this a lot. There's a lot of nostalgia in me. I got back into comic books, as some of you well know, over the past 5-6 years. Just kind of fell back into like reading comic books and buying comic books again, which is something I hadn't done in over 20 years. So yeah, kind of same thing with the wrestling. So about the same timeline. But yeah, I'd love to hear you guys' feedback. Or not, you know, I know it's not one of those videos where people are going to be super excited to like talk and leave comments, but I appreciate it if you stop by to listen. Please like the video if you enjoyed it. Yeah, just trying to grow the channel, guys, and I'm going to start posting more of this like random thoughts, what's going on in my life type things. Probably not like vlogs or anything like that, but just shooting the shit, right? It's daily BS, daily bullshit, daily Brett Scott. That's why it's that play on words, because it's supposed to be any random thing I feel like talking about. It just so happens that most of the stuff I like talking about is entertainment and pop culture. But I'm going to slide some of this stuff in here as well from time to time again, because I love doing it, and there's some of my favorite videos to make, you know, and I get my most kind of creative fulfillment out of just coming on here and speaking my mind. Anyway, thank you guys. Like the video, share the video, all that good stuff, and I'll talk to you again real soon. Thanks.